Hero Nation show, we're going to be talking about friends. Do you have the right friends? Do you have the wrong friends? Do you need to get rid of them? Does Wayne need to get rid of some? We're going to be talking about that right now on the Hero Nation show. Welcome back to the Hero Nation show, guys. The place where business owners and entrepreneurs just like yourself come to learn tools and tactics to live more epic lives. And today I am sitting beside a living legend, myself. And
myself and I.
I'm also with another living legend, Wayne Salmons. And today we're going to be talking about the one thing. When do you need to just get rid of your friends?
Ooh, when do you need to get rid of your friends?
And go get some new ones.
Ouch.
Oh, this is a big subject.
This is a big one.
Okay.
So here's the first question. Who are the friends you have right now, and how did you acquire them? And the reason I ask that is most people as adults are acquiring friends the same way we did when we were kids. And
you want to be my friend?
Yeah, like, and the way we acquired friends as kids usually was like you lived on the same street or you went to the same school. Like, we acquired friends based on proximity, right? If they were in our little proximity, they became our friends. Sometimes that worked out, sometimes it didn't. The problem is most people are still doing that as adults. Right?
They're still to a new neighborhood.
You may want to. So is that working for you? Is it working? And here's what we really get into, right? You're the average of your five best friends, the five people you spend the most time with. You're the average of those people. I think we've heard that in terms of like money before. We've heard that in terms of like financially, right? But I would say it goes further than that. I would say your relationships are probably the average of the five people you spend the most time with.
Well, the other thing I would ask is like, do you actually have a set parameter for how you choose friends? I choose friends like based on like an actual set of parameters that I wrote down. And if they don't measure up, I'm not friends with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because I remember there was this point where I realized I had spent so much of my life catering to people that would never really bring me any farther forward than I was right now.
Yes.
So like one of my first things on my list is actually, can I have really hard conversations, or do they just tell me what I want to hear?
But yeah, and I think first you have to know, how do you evaluate your friendships? And I think that's what you're diving into. How do you evaluate those friendships? And I think every relationship you have is either pulling you up or pushing you down, right? Every relationship is either pulling you down or it's pushing you up. And I think I don't think there's any such thing as a neutral relationship where there's no effect. I think every relationship, they're either pushing you up or pulling you down, and you have to go back and evaluate your relationships. And I think what we're talking about is we're talking about friendships, like the people that you're kind of your friends and peers with. We're not talking about the people that necessarily mentor us or the people we're bringing up, right? So there's a difference. We're talking about this in the middle group of friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but I look at that middle group of friends, and I think that if your middle group of friends isn't the same as your higher groups of friends, isn't of the same caliber.
Right.
Right now, I'm not saying that everybody has to be a 100%, like I'm a millionaire so that I'm like that. That's a bunch of BS. Yeah. But however, I am saying that there has to be like integrity, honesty. There has to be a reason why I'm still friends with them.
Yes.
Other than they're still there.
Right.
Like some of the things that are like super unhealthy, right? We're in this culture where we don't like to end friendships. They end up on Facebook. Right. And it's so unhealthy for us to actually have relationships that never end, because it's like, well, what if I get back? No, end the relationship. Right? Yeah. Quit letting it hang around like a bad cold, and get rid of it. It it doesn't belong to you anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And like we also hang on to like relationships that are really toxic to us, that have no business in our lives. Yeah. Right? We sit there and we feel some type of loyalty to the person.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm a loyal person, I'm a loyal friend. I'm so glad your loyalty is actually taking precedence over the quality of your life.
Yeah. Well, and I think that So what is your qualification? When do you end a friendship? And I think that you have to ask yourself: Is this person on the journey with me? Are we kind of going in same directions? So you got to kind of figure some of that out, and then look at. In my experience with this person, is it bringing me up? Is it bringing me down? And most of my friends, are they asking me great questions? Are they pushing me? Right? Are they having?
You farther?
Yeah.
So I would like. So my first one is: can they give a real conversation? Can we have a real conversation, not a fake one? Will they have real conversations? Can they call me? Can they call me out on the bullshit? Right. Because if they can't, and this is even worse, if they can't tell what's bullshit and what's not. Like I don't know. Like I know some people, right? And I've been guilty of this too, right? Where we have that one friend that we keep around because they make us feel smart.
Right. Yeah. Okay, what's another one? Give me another one.
So after that, are they emotionally, physically, and mentally honest?
Ooh, I love that. Yeah.
Right? Emotionally, physically, mentally honest. Right? If they're not, we're going to come up against a problem, and we might find, like, if I ask someone how they're doing and they go, fine. That's not emotionally honest.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Oops. Right? Are they mentally honest?
Mm-hmm.
Are they mentally honest about where they are, what challenges they are? Are they mentally honest about how they do business, about how they live their life? Are they physically honest? Do they physically act the same way that they do in between the boardroom and the bedroom? Are they the same person? Right? Because a lot of times people, like, you get through these layers and they all of a sudden change. I remember I was invited to this really nice dinner one time. And it was full of these multi-million-dollar oil guys, cowboys and all this kind of stuff. And these guys had been so conservative and nice and everything else. They got a few beers in them,
and everything changed.
Everything changed. All of a sudden, they're pulling out pictures of side chicks and people they had down in Puerto Rico, and they were passing stuff around. And I remember, my gut just turned. I felt so sick to my stomach because I was like, you're not who you said you were. You're not who you played the part over here, but you're not that person over here. I don't play this way.
Well, and you're not looking for perfect people. You're looking for people that, like you said, that are in touch and authentic with you and with themselves.
Right. Yeah. So the third thing, are they willing to change? Right? Are they the same person that they were 20 years ago, or are they actually on some type of journey?
Yeah.
Is there just a bunch of repeating patterns here?
I love that quote that says, somebody came back to a friend and said, "Man, dude, you've changed. Like, you're not the same dude you were a year ago." Yeah. And the guy looked back at him and said, "Yeah, why are you? Like, why haven't you changed? Right? Like, I am different than I was a year ago. Why aren't you different than you were a year ago? Like, are you on this journey?" And I think that's a huge one. And I know another one that you and I look for is, we call it cul-de-sacs. Like, I'm not friends with cul-de-sacs, meaning like they're people that just they gather and nothing happens, right? They learn something new, they just keep it to themselves. They're cul-de-sac talent, it doesn't go anywhere. We have made a decision to work, spend time with, have friends that are multipliers, right? They're ones that if they learn something great, they're going to share it with 10 other people. If they learn how to do right, those are the kind of people we want to hang out with. So,
and then I have one last one, right? Do they actually give back? Right?
Yeah.
Is it all about them, or is it about giving back to other people? If they're not investing, if they're not giving back to people, then I really don't want to be around them either.
No soul suckers.
No.
People that just suck the life out of everybody else.
It's all frustrating.
About them. Yeah. So here's two other.
What's your 5?
I think my 5 were mixed in there.
No. I want to hear it. Come on.
So one is they're not cul-de-sacs, right? Like, they're multipliers. They're people that what I give, they give to others, right? Or what they get, they give to me. Those kinds of people. I think a second one is they're fun. Like and this is they're people that love life and they want to enjoy the journey, right? It's not all about like the end game, right? They're enjoying the journey along the way.
Right.
For me, a lot of my friends are people also that are at a similar place in life as I am. And as weird as that sounds, there's some people that I'm not friends with anymore just because our lives took different directions, and it doesn't make sense for me to spend time with them. Does that sound weird? But like, Tyler's one of my best friends. What's great about that is, Tyler and I can hang out with our kids at a baseball game. Right, like we can do some of the things together. So I think some of your
someone
friends,
you can actually do life with.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They're people that my friends are people that I can do life with. We're not friends in just one pocket, right? Like you and I are friends, but we're also friends because we do business together. We have fun together. There's all these other things that we do. So I don't think I ever even thought about that before. Right now, like I'm not friends with anyone that just fills one bucket. Like we just make money together. Does that make sense? As far as my inner circle, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, so, that makes total sense.
And I think that's okay. And then I think the other one is they have some of the similar values, right? Meaning like they take responsibility for their life. Like we're having great conversations because we're in similar paths. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the question: who do you have inside your life?
Yeah.
That you need to get rid of?
Man, who in my life do I need to get rid of? There's, and I don't want to say it boastfully.
He didn't.
No, I don't want to say it boastfully, but like right now, I'm in a place where, like we've done a lot of work on this. You know what I mean? So I don't know if right now there's a whole lot of people that I need to get out of my life. And there's probably some, but over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of people that I've distanced from, or we've gone from kind of the friend to like, hey, we talk to each other once in a while. But I'm not great at ending friendships. Like I wish to say that I was great.
That's what I was going to ask.
So there's someone in my world right now who I've ended the friendship and they don't know it, right? Because I've just been ghosting them hardcore. So I just need to have that conversation. And yet sometimes those conversations are hard because typically in my life I've allowed people to just drift away, right? Most of the friendships that I've had to maintain them on some level. And now I'm friends with people that it's more double-sided. You know what I mean? So they don't just drift.
And see, I have a problem with doing that.
Yeah.
Like I have so my big problem with doing stuff that way.
It's because I'm the nice guy.
I know.
Yeah.
But no. But hear me out. Like I think it's disingenuous, right?
Yes.
Like it's a part of me says like if we're gonna end a relationship, I want you to know that it's ended. So that you can move on.
Yes.
So that I can move on.
Yeah.
So that we're able to like, I hate double talk, right? Where someone's like, I love it when people like end it with you in business and they're like, well, we're not going to use you anymore, or we don't need you anymore for this, but I want to work together in the future. Bullshit. Like
I think I literally said that to someone a couple months ago. So that was a great example.
so like, but honestly, like, are you really being honest, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and honesty isn't an so people usually err on one side or the other. Either they never say anything and they just ghost someone for the rest of their lives, or they're assholes, right? And I think that there's a balance, right? I think what you're talking about.
I'm not talking about burning a bridge.
No, but what you're talking about is like leaving well, and I think that's one of the things you and I believe a lot in is leaving well. Whether it's leaving a job, and I could hate the job, but still leave well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or I could leave a relationship, but leave the relationship well. And I think that makes a big difference. Not being a jerk, but actually having a great conversation. And there's people that both of us aren't friends with anymore, not because we didn't like them, not because they were jerks.
Some people are great people, right? Sometimes they're great people, but great people doesn't necessarily mean that they're the right people.
Right. So here's what I want to say on this. Sometimes, would you agree that you have to leave people before you find the new people?
Yes, absolutely.
That's the part that
you have to actually make room.
That's the part. Yeah, you have to make room. So that's the part that sucks. What we'd like to do is like, hey, I need to leave this group of friends that all they do is drink every week, and like that's not my thing anymore. But you don't find this. Usually, you don't find this new group of friends until you've left some of these people. Mm-hmm. So what do you do to intentionally find new friends?
Oh gosh. So it's been a while since I've had to like super find like new friends. To be like completely 100% honest, I am insanely picky.
Yeah.
when it comes to finding friends.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it takes time, and I think that's one of my first things is I allow time to grow. Just because you have chemistry doesn't mean that the relationship is meant to be, right? Because I remember I used to like pick, like, how do I put it? I'm always insanely intentional about telling someone that they're going to be my friend.
Right.
I remember, so when you and I became friends, right? We were actually friends at that point. Wayne just, I'm
pretty sure you told me we were going to be friends.
Yeah, I did.
I was like,
well, so Wayne and I had met at his house, and we have a picture of this moment, right? Our first meeting, I think I like picked up Wayne. I think I picked up Hadley, and I have them like cradled in my arms, like it was like those are literally our very first meeting, and I called him back. Heidi and I were, I think we were at Nokia's headquarters, and corporate headquarters here in Dallas, and I called Wayne, and I was like, just to let you know, we're going to be best friends. I'm throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you actually have a choice in the matter, but this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But part of that was sometimes you do recognize like kindred spirits, like right off the bat, because it's like you don't have to explain yourself anymore.
Yes, your energy does a lot of the speaking, right? And like you said, when you meet your people, you don't have to explain who you are. That it works. Yet here, the other side of it is, most people don't have great friends, I believe, because they're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to go through some of the process, right? And in friendship, a great friendship takes work. A great friendship's going to have fights. A great friendship takes time to build, And I think most people want insta-friend, and that usually doesn't work very well.
The phrase that I will remember, and I will always remember, right, is that a great friend walks in when the rest of the world walks out.
Yeah.
And I remember I experienced this. When after I got hurt when I was in Australia, like my friends kind of disappeared. My friends disappeared. That was like a moment.
Yeah.
Of being like from Mr. Popular to everybody's gone. And the people that walked in were not the people that I
had expected.
Oh no. Like I was like, we're friends? We're real friends? Yeah, those people walked in.
Yes.
And I will remember them for the rest of my life.
Yes. Huge.
Because what they did was they walked in, they helped, they were the ones bringing food when I couldn't walk and I couldn't like roll, I couldn't even like get out of bed because I was so badly injured. They were the one, they were those people, and those people made such a big impact.
Yeah.
Right. That it left a mark. I was like, I'm going to be 100% like that. So whenever I see a situation like that and I'm watching, and like I run.
Yeah.
When I see like a situation that's really bad, and I see the people that are actually in need, I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the fire with them.
Yeah.
Because I know what's forged in the fire will be tempered through time.
Yeah. Well, that's like that.
Don't you like that? I just made up that phrase. That was a really good one.
That was good. Write that down. Well, that reminds me of like that mastermind we did a while ago. And there was a person we invited to the mastermind that was at their rock bottom moment, right? And the reason we invited them was because we go like, because we both been there. We go, man, this is what I wish someone would have done for me. Right, so I think there's two things on this that I want to make sure you get out of this if you're watching this, and the first thing is, how do you attract great friends into your life? And I believe a lot of you got to go look for them, but you also attract them. And the question I think you got to ask yourself is who do I want to be? Here's the way I would do this. Who do I want to be friends with? You get a clear vision of that, and then you ask yourself this follow-up question: who would they want to spend time with? I want to be friends with these kinds of people. Okay, who do I need to become so that they would want to spend time with me to be able to build those relationships? Just like finding a great spouse. To find a great spouse, you go, here's the perfect woman I'm looking for. Okay, awesome. Who would she want to spend her life with?
So what would you
do it that way?
What would you say to people that are kind of like, you know what? I hear you, but I feel like I'm being fake to myself when I'm trying to act like someone that someone else would be like. Because we've all been around those like, I call them like the sycophant people that are like, oh yeah. Oh, that's real funny.
Yeah. So the act isn't going to work. You've got to grow into. You got to do the work. You got to grow into that that role.
You can't just join the golf club.
No, you can't just. You got to grow into that role. And here's the second piece that I wanted to give you. Sometimes this is what I did a couple years ago. I knew I was transitioning from one company right to start our company, and I knew that I was going to lose a lot of friends. Right,
were they really your friends?
Well, not friends, right? And what I did was I literally sat down and wrote out just like you said, I wrote out my qualifications for the new best friend I want in my life, or the new friends I want to have in my world.
And I became
and literally because I sat down and got that clarity, they began to show up. Like you showed up in my life, right? Tyler showed up in my life.
Yeah.
People began to show up because I spent the time to get clear. So I think to kind of wrap this up, my last thoughts would be, acknowledge that most of your friendships aren't going to be forever, and that's okay. Right? It's just part of the journey. End well, but realize that most of your friendships aren't going to be forever. That's okay. Love them while they're in their life, right? Love those friendships while they're there, and be okay realizing that it's going to change and grow, and then get clear about who you want your friends to be in the future.
If not every friendship is for a lifetime, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Because the investment that you put inside them could change someone's life forever.
Yep.
Right. I don't want you guys to be discouraged or like, I'm not going to be friends with anybody unless they're like 100% amazing. Sometimes there's growth in there, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you see something in there and you pull it out of some people. But also like, be careful of like pet project friends.
Yeah.
And just be real with people.
Yeah.
Like share, if you're not willing to share your struggles with them, they shouldn't be willing to share their struggles with you.
Right. So you really need three levels of people in your life, right? You need your friends that are on the journey with you, right? They're same. The struggles are the same. You're learning similar things, right? And then you need people that are pouring into you. You need who are coaches, mentors, right? People like that that are pouring into your life. Yep. And then the third group is you need the people that you're pulling up, right? Mm-hmm. The people that you're pouring into. And for us, the biggest qualification for that group is that they're multipliers. Like we said, they're not cul-de-sacs. We don't pour into someone who's not going to learn from that and share with others. So that's a future conversation. But you need all three groups.
And just to clarify, when I'm talking about like pet projects, I mean like
ask holes. An ask hole is someone that asks you questions over and over with no intention of actually implementing the knowledge.
Or that you are intentionally just trying to change them. It's like that girlfriend that you had that was just constantly trying to change you. Sometimes we pick friends like that too, right? Yes. We're like, oh, I think I can change them. I see so much in them. I'm just going to change them. The reality is that if they're not willing to change, then all you're doing is actually being disingenuous for them because are you there to get something, right? Because that's oftentimes like something that's like trying to self-fulfill on inside of ourselves, right? Where we're like, you know what, I want to feel good about myself, so I'm going to help somebody.
Yes.
Or is it more like I'm actually here to help you, regardless of whether or not you change?
Yes.
Right.
Yep. Huge.
So, all right,
Boom.
guys.
All right, on the next episode of the Hero Nation show, we're going to see who wins this arm wrestle.
In the meantime,
thanks for being here.
Hero Nation is brought to you by Hero Nation Fuel.
If
you are not part of Hero Nation Fuel, you really need to be, right? You really need to be because you can have conversations just like this one, and you can have these kind of conversations that are just absolutely amazing. You can be part of a group that is there to bring you forward, that is there to bring your business forward. Guys, there's a 30-day back guarantee.
Hit the link, take a try, come test drive it, see if it's right for you.
And if you use the promo code Hero Nation 1, you can change the price from $297 a month to $97 a month just by typing in that.
You don't know if that's
Hero
actually
Nation
true,
code.
but it probably is. Lydia has some work to do.
Hero Nation 1. So guys, go ahead, sign up, get in there. 30-day back guarantee. Get part of the pods. Get part of coaching. Take your business, take your life to the next level. Develop some amazing friends with amazing people who are on the same journey as you. Until next time, guys, my name is John Rinehart. That right there happens to be Wayne Salmons. Be your own hero.
I'm going to go find some friends.